Hello everyone, this is Keng El Bey and I'm back. And this is part two of how to stop child support. Now, I told you before, you have to create your own acknowledgement of natural birth. Um, you don't want to use the word paternity. We ain't going through all of that. You just want to put your own affidavit of natural birth concerning your rights without codes, private rights, your private rights. Once you do, like I said, I'm gonna recap a little bit. Once you do this and you get your birth certificates and everything done, you then want to do it and according to the state conformity of the state law. And I'm gonna show you something real quick. There's several statutes in here, and I'm just gonna show you according to the rules of evidence and to the state law. Let me see, that's not it. Is this it? Yeah, this it. It says the force of announcement set forth in this section is sufficient for their purpose under this section. The forms of statutory short form of acknowledgement may be referred to by name. The authorization of the form in this section does not preclude the use of the form. So you want to do what they call a certificate of acknowledgement by notary attestation. And this is some of the stuff that you can put in here. It's another revised code. It's in some of my other videos. I've been posted about 5 other videos. You need to look through those videos. I'm not going to go through all of that. You need to subscribe to my channel and just start going through the videos and combing through. And you will see what I am posting. So when you get all of that done, like I said, you go to the Secretary of State. You get it authenticated. Okay? But I told you, when you create the when you create this document, don't have the notary sign off on it. You do your own acknowledgement of certificate or acknowledgement of live birth, and then you do your certificate of acknowledgement of natural birth or whatever you name your documents. And on your birth certificate, do not have the notary do sign off on it. Like I said, you're going to sign your document. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see, is this it? No, that ain't it. Let me see if it's on this. I might not go through all of that. I already kind of touched that already. You're going to go to let's see, is it 20? Here we go. You're going to go here once again. Unsworn declaration under penalty of perjury. Boom. You're going to do this. So this is when y'all in the hospital. You know, if you don't want to name the baby, you got some time. Go ahead and take your time, get this done. Take about 10 to 20, 30 days to get all of this done. Get it filed. So you can file it at one or several places. Like I said before, you can file it at the county. You can file it at probate court. You can file it at the vital statistics office. So let's go back to the probate court. Let's go back. Probate. Birth record registration. You can do it right in probate. I got the packet. Here's all the stuff that you need. Right in here. To tell you. To follow, and this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Moors, y'all got to follow these daggone instructions. See, you got to learn public and private and how they interface. And I think that's one of the problems that Moors is having, because they say, well, we ain't got to do all of that. But yet you over on the public side, all in a business. And what's happening is the public won't recognize private rights unless those private rights are done in conformity with the laws of the state through business, through contract, through regular course of business. And let me show you something about that. Let me see if I can pull that up for all you guys who nah, this ain't the let me see through regular course of business. It says records as evidence, as used in the section business, include every kind of business, profession, occupation, calling, or operation of the institution, whether carried on for profit or not. A record of an act, condition, event is so far as relevant and competent evidence in the custodian or the person who made such record or under whose supervision such records was made to testify to the identity and the mode of its preparation, and if it was made by regular course of business at or near the time of the act, condition, event, if in opinion of the court the sources of information, method, and time preparations were such as to justify its admission. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just want y'all to understand when you doing regular course of business, you got to understand how the public and private work and how they interface and how contracts need to be done. So once again, contracts. I'm not going to get into all the specifics, the stuff that we do, because the stuff that we do is very unique. And we bring it a little more, we know what to do in tweaking this information a little more better. So I'm just going to show you once again. Private property can never be held inviolate. Let me go down to here again. Let's look at this. This is under section 19. We're going to talk about rights of the conscience. All men have a natural indivisible right to worship Almighty God to the dictates of their own conscience. And then I want to show you here, nor shall any interference with the rights of the conscience be permitted. I'm just going to recap. This is in some of my other videos. In inalienable rights, all men by nature certain inalienable rights. So you have to put your rights together, people. When you're talking about trust, estates, an estate is something that is property, and trust help manage the property. That's it. You got to know what you're doing. I'm tired of watching these videos where people are telling people stuff and they don't really understand everything in the process. I'll go to court. I've been and seen all types of situations. I go to court. This is where I'm able to show you things, and I can show you through the process, through the courts. Ain't nobody teaching y'all this. That's why people saying, like I said, inviolate, free or safe from injury or violation. This is gonna break this down to you. Let's go on. Let's talk about. Okay, I talked about that. Let's talk about the Notary Act. A Notary Act is an official act executed by a notary public. An official act. An acknowledgement, signature, jurat, protest, oath, or affirmation could be considered an official notary act. So let me tell y'all this. So one of the most powerful processes is the notary presentments. The Notary Act. It's an official act. It carries a lot of weight. And we know how to do it all. Let me show y'all something on here. Let me show y'all something here. Let's go here, right here. We can start, look, we can talk about foreign public documents. I told you, this can turn, the other term can be for private. A document purported to execute it or attested in a official capacity by a person authorized by the laws of a foreign country to make execution and attestation occupied by a final certificate as to the genuineness of the signature and official position. You understand? That's when you come down here. I'm not going to read all of this. This is in the rules of evidence. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all not following the rules. That's why you can't get people out on the jail on the habeas. This is why we're not winning in child support. Because y'all don't understand the instructions that the court are giving you. And you putting your own spin on everything. So right here, it talks about this right here. Acknowledgement, acknowledged documents. Documents accompanied by what? A certificate of acknowledgement. So while y'all doing y'all affidavits, that's cool. But we do ours like this. I know how to work the court. I know what to do. Also, a commercial paper. They talk about commercial paper. There are documents relating to the extent provided by commercial law. That's when the UCCs come in. Now listen to this. Presumption created by law. Any signature, document, or other matter declared by law of a jurisdiction, state or federal, to be presumptively or prima facie genuine or authentic. Do you hear me on this? So you got to understand, this is how they get presumption. This is why you got to have your own documents. You create your own contracts. You privatize everything, and you make sure that everything has certain agreements, like confidentiality agreements. All of these other things that's necessary, so people don't have jurisdiction to do all that other stuff. So they can't come in and strip you of your private rights. I showed you in previous videos due process dealing with private rights. Understanding that the public is their private, and that's government being able to exercise its powers and its rights. The separation of power doctrines and all the other doctrinations that they have, and all the rules and regulations, because Congress get to regulate commerce, and then it's tell you about the through general law. And that's where the General Assembly come in to be able to exercise the powers of Congress within the confines of every state. Got to understand this. States deal in intrastate commerce. Federal deal in interstate commerce. Understand the difference so that you can be better prepared and understand what you're dealing with when you're dealing with criminal, when you're dealing with child support, when you're dealing with anything, and you didn't know how to safeguard your property rights. You did not know how to use your trust to create asset protections. And you did not know how to contract to secure that your position as either creditor or benefactor or trustee is showing that no one else without the privilege of the contract can then come in as a creditor or any other person as trustee or benefactor of said trust without certain consents and without certain written consent. So you got to understand what's going on. Let me see. Now, let me show you this. This is a law journal. They got plenty of them. They got plenty of these. This is just one of them I found, but I got other ones that I have found also. Let me put this. I was looking for the one that I have. I got it in my favorites. I just didn't want to go through and look for it. But let me just show you this. And it talks about a parent private property rights in his children and their labor. Parents have the right. Mayors versus Perks constitutionalize a narrow tradition vision of children as essential private property. This vision continues to distort our family law and national family policy, so that we fail as lawmakers to respect children and fail as a nation to recognize the legitimate all American children as our own. So you got to understand that children is the extension of the estate in which is created to have its own property rights. You got to read journals like this. I just didn't go through all of that. These journals get pretty long, just letting you know, just rolling through this information. You have to really read through a lot of this stuff. I done read a lot of stuff on children and property. So just to let you know, let me see what else. Um, Went through the rules of evidence. What is this? No, okay. So after you get all of that authenticated, like I said before, you can get it authenticated on a state level, and then you can send it off to the federal level to get it authenticated. And this is the office that you can get your records and all of that done, authenticated and stuff like that. Just breaking you down. And the reason why the rules of evidence come into play, because these are the rules in which self-authenticating documents can now weigh, and you can file it into the court record, and how you want to go about doing it, and it shall be considered evidence. Now, I also said before, and I showed you in other stuff, in other videos, I just pointed out a lot of stuff. So not just watch this child support, but watch other videos. Let me break this down too. And let's go to judicial notice of adjudicated fact. Let me see. Why did it do that? Okay, judicial notice of adjudicated facts. Once that contract, when I told you get out of that stuff, the contract is made up and is filed and is done within the confines of the probate court. Like I said, vital statistics. It becomes an adjudicated fact. It can be presented, and you can bring that at any given time, and they got to hear you. And like I said before, watch my other videos. I'm not gonna go over everything. I already went over this, but also judicial notice may be taken at any stage of the proceeding. So when you file stuff under personam jurisdiction, you trying to say they don't have personam jurisdiction. You got to know what to do when you filing your judicial notice and presenting this before the court. Now, instructing in part 2, I just wanted to recap on some of this so you can understand how this stuff weigh into the court and as in evidence. Everything in our society is done by contract once again. So this is just the beginning phase. When I go into part 3, I'm going to show you after the child is born and you and your baby mama, she already signed the documents. You signed the documents, and some remedies that you can do for that. I know a lot of guys want to hear that portion. But also, let me check this out. Let me see where the book at. Y'all guys need to go get my book, man. Get this book. It's How to Stop Child Support by Keng El Bey. It's very important. It got a lot of good tips and a lot of good strategies in this book. It talks about a lot of stuff, religious rights. I ain't going over everything because a lot of stuff is in this book. This book will help you with your stopping child support. So everyone who's watched the video, go get the book. Now, let me see. If you need help with this stuff, let me show you something. Oh. Let me show you this. Y'all need to come over to Musk, man. Listen, I post all type of stuff. I did part 1. Y'all need to come over to Musk and give us a call and support and subscribe to my Morris Universal Society channel. I'm gonna blow this up a little bit so I want everybody y'all can see this number. Okay, this is the number 513-549-7270. And I want y'all to give us a call if you really need some help. We got you. We know how to do all of this. We got you. But let's get back. Now, I want to show you in the Ohio Revised Codes perfecting the security interest. This is the UCCs in the state. It says perfection of a security interest. And see, this is when you're dealing with private property. They give you instructions on how to secure your rights with private property. So you got to take this information and know what to do with it. It says a security interest in chattel paper, negotiable documents, instruments, or investment property may be perfected by filing, except as otherwise in this division C.D. of this section of the code, a revised code for proceeds. A security interest in a deposit account may be perfected only by the control under section 1309.314 of the revised code. Now, I want to show you it says a security interest perfected in a document has priority over any security interest that becomes perfected in goods by another method during that time. Do you hear that? That's why you don't see a lot of stuff filed in the UCCs, because they do it through contracts. The Bailey's receipt of notification of the secure party interest. So I'm just showing you how this stuff can come into play and how to do it without the codes and do it within and with appropriation of this information to secure your property rights. This is about asset protection of private property. And you have to have the formulas in which to do a lot of things. Now, Musk can help you do all of that and show you all of that over again. I'm just showing you the right that you need to do about securing your property interests and making it known that it's either non-commercial or commercial. So you guys got to understand that. So what the government do is they take your birth certificate and then they create an estate for you that they have control over. And then you register everything through them so they got control over everything. You can own it, they just want to control it. So just giving y'all these facts under this is part 2. Just recapping some things, showing you some more information, and I will be extending this to part 3 on how many series I need to do on how to stop child support to show you that I bring a different approach, which is probably effective because I'm a litigator. I've been doing this for too long and I know how to win. I know how to win. So, a lot of you guys who about to have babies, you could create contracts, you could create prenups, waiver of child support, all that stuff can go in there. But I'm just letting you know. And what's so even deep? I don't know if I want to touch that, but it's a little deeper on that end. But I don't want to. I don't want to get people all upset on that. But I just want you to know we have the family court that you can contact. You can contact us. Here we go again. You can contact us, the Must Family Court. We also have practice areas. We deal in this too: marriages, divorce, family disputes. And we know how to do all of this and put it into contracts. You know, go over and check us out, read our procedures, check us out. You know, we deal in the arbitration. So I'm just trying to get everybody to understand really what we bring to the table under the Must family and what we're doing to help safeguard your rights. You got to be careful doing too many contracts, all these stuff that y'all signing up for, all these things that people are telling you to do, or creating other contractual obligations, and you need to make sure you understand the integrity of what you're signing up for. This is Keng El Bey for How to Stop Child Support. I'm giving y'all more, like I said. Um, this is not to be considered legal advice. I'm not an attorney. And if you want to, if you're listening to this, like I said, I'm not an attorney. Please seek you some legal counsel. And also, this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. So, with that being said, check us out. Like I said, go to the Facebook, um, Moors Universal Society of Tribes. I'm going to pull up on the third video our other website so you guys can start trying to come on through. But we're knocking stuff out the park. We win the cases. We know how to win. So give us a call. Check us out. Come to our Facebook. Go to our family court. And that's it. This is Keng El Bey. Peace, love. I'm out. I'll be doing part 3, probably part 4, and maybe more. So keep watching. There's more to come. Achieve more in life with Must. Peace.